Friends, I don't even know how to put this episode into words. Once you see Carlos and Teianna, you're going to be like, holy smokes, like, do I even love my spouse? Like, they are to the next level of just so much joy and enthusiasm. And the fact that they live and work together, like, they are legitimately the ultimate power duo. Move out of the way, Beyonce and Jay-Z. I mean, I guess Taylor and Travis. Like, honestly, wait till you hear these two. And they give so much valuable insight that honestly, I felt like I was in a TED Talk. I am so glad that these two came on the show. And I really hope that you do follow them. And if you are in Boise, Idaho, you go check out their space and support these two. So how did I find Idaho Smiles? I believe it was through one of our research days where we look up just different entrepreneurs in this space and we reach out to see how we can help with products in their teeth whitening business. And we started the conversation with these two, and let's just say we hit it off, had a great connection of just chatting about business and life and just this industry in general. And I'm sure you can kind of feel that out in the episode is these two honestly just want nothing but the best for this industry. And they are hoping that they can lead by example. And believe me, they are. So please enjoy this episode. Make sure you are taking tons of notes. The information that you're going to get into this episode is a TED Talk mixed with a mastermind. So don't let this info go to waste. And as always, comment on our socials. Let us know what you thought of this episode and stick around for more. Welcome to the show, Idaho Smiles. If you are a teeth whitening or tooth gem specialist, this is the podcast for you. My name's Rach, and I am the industry leader of all things teeth entrepreneurship. Together, let's learn from real-life experiences to must-have brands on how to take your business to the next level and leave that 9-to-5. Friend, welcome to Whitening Wednesday, and I'm so glad you are here. Let's build a safe industry together.
The crazy thing was we've never been to a teeth whitening location before. Like, we didn't even know this industry existed. We were going and doing dental trays and strips and toothpaste and everything over the counter or at our dentist office. And it just was not working for us at all. So then when we found this business and saw that there was an industry for it, we fell in love immediately.
And with the results too. So this was, like Teianna mentioned, our first successful attempt at getting white smiles. We had been working on self-care for 8-9 years now. And it was that last missing step that we just couldn't iron out when we found not only Idaho Smiles, but the effective results that it produced. And we actually achieved those results. I mean, it was beyond love. At that point, we just fully immersed ourselves in it and wanted to provide that kind of an experience and that kind of glee and happiness to clients.
This week's sponsor is Fern Whitening Supplies. If you are tooth whitening or tooth gem tech, you need a Fern in your life. Literally, Fern has everything you could ever need as a teeth whitening or tooth gem technician. From your chairside essentials to your PPE and disinfectant, all the way to a white labeled retail line that is the blank canvas you get to work with. Friend, Fern is literally there for you. Check out Fern Whitening Supplies today and use discount code WW10 for 10% off your first order. Let's get on with the show. Happy Whitening Wednesday. This is season 3. And today on the show, we have Ida Home Smiles, which is our second time we've had a partnership on the show, which is so exciting. And when we hear about Teianna and Carlos' story, you are going to be, first off, following them in a heartbeat, and second off, loving and getting so inspired by what they are doing with their teeth whitening spa. And when I say that they are doing so many amazing things, I mean it, from their branding to the client journey to the biggest thing, which I am so inspired by, networking. Like, you are in that community out and about, which is so incredible. And I can't wait to hear kind of what the return's been like while doing that. So tell us, how did you create the teeth whitening spa?
So we can't take credit for all of it. Ida Home Smiles was originally created in August of 2018 by Brett Olson, and he had a few investors work with him. And over the last 4 years, they had done all the groundwork. They were the leading teeth whitening location spa and were able to grow the business to 2 separate locations. So they developed a really strong foundation in the local community with Ida Home Smiles as a trusted, reputable, and effective business. So they had professional ventures that went in different directions. And rather than see all of that hard work kind of just fall apart, they were able to get in contact with us, and we networked with each other and saw an amazing, incredible opportunity for us to take over Ida Home Smiles. So we worked the logistics, and now after we spent a fair amount of time talking to them about the background and some of the things that they saw in the industry, we fell in love. Not to mention the fact that it was 2 blocks away from our home, and we literally saw the sign every day. So we were already invested in the brand. So when we came to take it over, we really, really wanted to put our own fingerprint on it. So kind of changed almost everything. And that's where we're at now.
Yeah, and the element of the spa was really something that attracted me. I do have background in the spa industry and really saw what they were trying to do with this brand and the ability to make it ours and make it really come alive. That was everything for us, where it was, whether it's the elements of the fire and the wind and the water, and really trying to bring everything to reduce waste, our sustainability practices, and really trying to make it more of a spa like atmosphere for our clients who came to us for the comfort and the environment. So
That is such a great story. And I'm curious, had you done teeth whitening prior to purchasing?
we've done it to ourselves, but we have never done it to somebody else. And the crazy thing was, we've never been to a teeth whitening location before. Like, we didn't even know this industry existed. We were going and doing dental trays and strips and toothpaste and everything over the counter or at our dentist office. And it just was not working for us at all. So then when we found this business and saw that there was an industry for it, we fell in love immediately.
And with the results too. So this was, like Teianna had mentioned, our first successful attempt at getting white smiles. We had been working on self-care for 8-9 years now. And it was that last missing step that we just couldn't iron out when we found not only Ida Home Smiles, but the effective results that it produced. And we actually achieved those results. I mean, it was beyond love. At that point, we just fully immersed ourselves in it and wanted to provide that kind of an experience and that kind of glee and happiness to clients.
Perfect. So perfect. So we have a spa background. And then, Carlos, tell us, what was your background? Like, what were you guys able to kind of mesh together to create this amazing business?
So that's something that we learned through this business, is that all of our work experience ties in. So I have a military background in the Air Force. I served proudly for 5 years. I've also worked corporate for major cell phone and television companies, doing customer service, retention, management, international management. So through those experiences, we've been able to take bits and pieces of our experience, our professional resume, as well as our personal lives, and kind of bring that together so that Idaho Smiles is a part of our entire life, not just something we do for work. It's been amazing transferring some of those skills to Idaho Smiles and see how it can work. For example, I have a graphic design degree that I really haven't used, except with this, we saw an opportunity to basically design and develop all of our marketing and logos and things.
Which that stands out because your marketing is on point. Like everything is just so perfect. And then as we kind of talk about your fun branding, actually, might as well talk about it now. So, how did you come up with the molar retreat? Like, you take your clients through this whole process and it all blends into like, what would you say? Would this be like your water and your ice element here, like your molar? And of course, your tooth, the molar bear retreat. How did you come up with that?
The inspiration really came from the original Idaho Smiles. So they had a mascot called Pearl, and she was a little molar bear. And they came up with that little slogan name, and we just immediately was in love with that idea. So then we decided that we wanted the backings of our foundation of our business plan to be iceberged into that idea of this is a molar bear. It's still cute and fun and punny, and we can do 80s, 90s themes with that, but also keep it, the white and that clean, modern look. So it still has that full balance of that. And then our business plan is we do ice for things that are most important for our businesses, the ingredients, how comfortable they are, and the equipment that we use. So we really try to implement that, we have our glacial guard, our polar pen, hibernation pit. We're trying to create this, just this fun, homey brand. Coca-Cola used polar bears for a long time, and that's a huge part of my background. And growing up and watching it on the commercials for Christmas time, it just brings me back to family still. Like, it's just weird how a polar bear means family to me, but it just does.
And I feel like it probably really helps those clients that are maybe a little bit more hesitant to come in. And when they're a little bit more anxious, maybe they kind of have more of that dental anxiety. When you've created such an atmosphere that is so friendly and it is just this experience, do you find that does really help with patients that would typically be quite anxious if you're going intraoral, are pretty relaxed?
I believe so. I mean, we've definitely helped re-emphasize to clients that we focus on their comfort. We use the best ingredients and the best equipment, and our focus is on making sure that they have as pleasant of an experience, getting their brightest smile possible, and then walking away from that experience with a little bit more relaxation, or taking in some of those infused essential oils so that they can calm and relax, listening to some of those ambient music tones so that helps soothe their soul. Our hope is that they walk away with their brightest smile possible and just a sense of relief and comfort, and having 2 hours dedicated completely to them. Is both of us doing the treatment. We're both constantly attentive to their needs, to making sure that they're comfortable, adjusting settings. We wanted it to be not just the brightest smile, but an experience for them to be able to just relax and enjoy. And I think that's what helps calm them down. As soon as they walk in and they see how we interact with them and what our intent is, we reinforce that throughout the entire experience, so they feel reassured that this isn't going to hurt. If anything, maybe I'll get a good nap in.
Yeah. And I think another thing that we've implemented to help with the comfortability of our clients is we have separated our rooms. So we have them sit, we chat with them for at least 15 minutes. We play that in with our time to get to know them, find out why they're there, go over the consent form, and just kind of answer any questions that they have and get them settled into the spa before we put them in the chair. And we feel like that allows them to kind of breathe and relax and just give them a little bit of time to just analyze and process what's going on.
Especially as, even though you might see teeth whitening popping up a little bit more, it's still such a new experience to have just a full teeth whitening business, right? So there are still a lot of clients that are like, okay, I want a bright smile, but totally not sure what's going to be involved. Not really sure what you're going to do here. So I can see how that is super helpful, especially if you are giving that allotted time and you are making it like that's part of your brand. Like, there's lots of techs who for whatever reason, they need to be turning over those chairs a lot quicker. But if you're building that into your brand for that longer time, then that's your brand, right? And it definitely does work well with your brand. So tell us about your networking because we get asked all the time, how do I advertise without spending a lot of money? And of course, the first thing is, of course, the best advertisement is word of mouth. That's number one. But that can take time. So, how can you speed up word of mouth? It's getting out into your community, it's networking with local businesses, and on all of your socials, I swear I don't know how you two have any time to sleep because you are always out at a networking event. Tell us, like, when did you start doing this? Have you actually noticed a decent return on doing this? What have you found challenging, or have you found that it's been like bread and butter, like totally worth it? And then also, if you're doing this, do you really need to do paid ads at this point, or is it just all chat?
Rachel, those are fantastic questions. And I'm actually really excited to answer this one. When we first took on this brand, I have background working for one of the largest motorcycle industries in the world, building a customer service based training for their dealerships for new riders. And so I was really a part of a very big global team, learning those tasks and those skills on how to build customer rapport. And I know building customers takes time. And if you can take the time and you can say, okay, what is my minimum budget that I need to make a month to be able to just sustain my life, stay with that,
Yep.
and then just start getting out into the community, learn who your community is, what events are going on, what's important to your brand that you want to be able to get with other people that are interested in that. And also, you want to find areas that you are actually interested in.
True.
So you don't have to always think about, oh, I have to go and find this person or I have to find this niche. Like we hear that so often. And truly for us, it's been, if you take the time to learn what you want out of your life, out of your business, and then start finding those events and those people that radiate that same energy or have that same lifestyle and start pursuing that. And it does take time. Now, I'm not going to say we got rewards immediately. It was months of interaction and talking, but the difference is I really feel that it is so much more genuine. Like I actually get to know these people and experience their life and what they're up to and what they're doing. And they're actually interested in what we're doing. So when you are trying to help someone build their business and in turn they're helping build yours, the relationship is so much stronger because there's so much more love and appreciation and support for each other and the goal that you both are trying to achieve. So it takes a little longer, but it's absolutely worth the effort because then you're not feeling like you're on your phone all of the time. Oh, I'm just constantly working. Like I really honestly feel like I am just going and hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my community, and I feel like I belong. And so it doesn't feel like I'm actually working.
I would, just to add on top of that, when we had retired from full-time work, that was a commitment that we had made to each other, and it took a long road to get here. But once we found Idaho Smiles and fell in love with it, we realized that this needs to be a part of our life. And the best way to do that, or what things are we interested in our personal lives that when we were working for professional careers, we didn't really have the time to do. We've always been into fashion. We've always been huge advocates of self-care. We've been into cars and motorsports and motorcycles. So it was Teianna that actually brought it up one morning, we were just having coffee, and why not mesh those industries together? Not as, well, what can I gain from you and what can you gain from me? These are the people I've always wanted to be around. Track Shark and Jenna Q and Samantha Townsend with the Your Voices Heard Foundation, Trailhead and the Boise Fashion Week. Like, these are all amazing individuals that are a part of a community that we've always been interested in being introduced to. And everyone's been so welcoming. It was just us taking that step to say, what are we interested in? Can we put that together with Idaho Smiles and just be us? And I think when we're in those situations around those passionate people, they not only feel that passion, but it's more of a robust conversation that's real and organic. And we talk about all of these things, whether it's business related or not. We just end up becoming closer than at a professional networking event where there's a structure to it,
Yeah.
meshing our personal life and our interests into our business. Again, Teianna mentioned it in a separate instance. There's nothing really saying what we have to do or what we can and can't do. That's where being an entrepreneur was just a magical change in our life.
I can imagine. And teeth whitening is perfect for exactly what you mentioned, how it's all these different areas because teeth whitening is so diverse, right? There's not a limit on who can do it, etc. So you then having the teeth whitening business, I mean, it probably is blended so well across all those industries that you've been networking with, which is so amazing. So I get asked all the time, how do I reach out to a business? So when you first started, think back, how did you do your first connections with some of these local businesses? Was it a call? Were you walking by? Was it an email? Like, how did you get your foot into the door to start connecting?
I'll take this one. So
Go ahead.
her idea, but I've always been into cars and I had followed Instagram accounts for car shows and car enthusiasts. And I brought up to her that there was a major car show happening in Boise, Idaho's Shark Fest by Track Shark. And she brought up the idea, well, why don't we reach out to them and see about becoming a sponsor, which I had never done.
Smart.
Right. But then again, you look at it from a professional standpoint, working corporate, I'm emailing people constantly. So it was just kind of switching that mindset to applying it here. And it literally was a Facebook message, thanking them for letting me be a part of a previous car show. And it was a fantastic event from the year before. And then just asking, what does it take to become a sponsor? What are some of the results that you've had that you provide to sponsors, which they were great. They gave us a full deck of their reach, their social marketing strategy, all of the different impacts that they've made in the community. So it was a no-brainer for us. Then we continued working with them, kept the dialogue going. And now it feels like anytime there's an event, we love being a part of it, whether it's attending. And that would be a piece of advice I think that I would give to any other business owners out there is, yes, sponsorships are fantastic. It's a great way to professionally network, but you can also attend an event and just be an attendee and absorb it and mingle, go up and talk to people. And if the conversation comes up about business or about teeth whitening, our best gateway has always been when we have conversations with people, people will say, your teeth are so white. Like, how are your teeth so white? Segue. So
First thing people say all the time is like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Your teeth are white. Like, oh, thanks. I own a laser tooth whitening spa in downtown Boise. So you just kind of like play with those.
You rep the brand, right?
absolutely.
Absolutely. Every time. And another thing is, it's so, I don't know, like you're in the smile business. We're in the smile business. Like, I just feel like anything that makes you smile or makes you want to get out or get engaged, you cannot be an introvert as a business owner, but you can if you hire someone or you pay for ads. It's absolutely possible. But if you want to save that money, just find that extrovert in you, find that little encouragement to just go and just do it, because it'll change your life the second you just do it. I mean, there was a time where we didn't even want to be in front of a camera. And so at night, we'd come home, set the camera up, and we would just record in front of it until we felt comfortable. And it takes time. But if you put in the work, you're going to get the rewards from it. It just takes time.
In baby steps, right? Like if you don't start it, you're never going to be able to do it. So it's like just those stepping blocks.
Absolutely.
That is such a great way. It's like you started an ad campaign and you didn't even realize it, right?
Essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, we have had from our previous experience, again, there's a lot of valuable tools that we brought to Idaho Smiles. Teianna had worked, like she had mentioned, for large companies. And through those large companies, she developed 6-week marketing strategies and long-term seasonal marketing strategies So to take that kind of foundation and then just bring it here, there's a lot of structure behind the scenes. So the facilitating the business side of it itself is its own beast, but you have to make time for all of the planning. And we have spreadsheets, we have budgets, we set time aside. Even though we're married, we love each other, we're with each other all day, but we literally set time aside to sit down at a professional meeting. We'll take ourselves to a coffee shop or a restaurant, and that hour and a half is dedicated to work. CEO, CFO, we sit down together and we have a structured meeting to talk about all of the different categories or all of the different departments that we have to run to make sure that everything's still running smoothly. So even though it is our business, we still have to make those efforts to treat it with respect and treat it professionally and make sure that we stay on task. Because I'll speak for me, I throw out ideas like crazy. She's the one that helps me align myself to say, okay, are we going to put this idea down? Are we going to start working through it? Let's actually decide how this is going to play out. And that's where I think for me, a lot of my ideas are, yeah, you're right. Maybe we won't do that. But the ones that do stick, they've been amazing. So you have to make that time to still work through all of the nuances and the foundations and the backgrounds and the inner workings of a business, because it's critical.
For sure. If you're not blocking in that time, doing those spreadsheets, really paying attention to what's working and what's not working, you're going to not be able to go very far, right? You're going to run out of cash flow. You're going to be like, what happened? And then you're just going to be stagnant. So that's incredible. And I can imagine it is even harder since you are married and you are together all the time to set those boundaries. But it seems like you're doing such an incredible job. And I hope anyone watching that is doing this with a spouse is like, this is what we need to do. We just need to like set the time. So tell us, with your networking, like, do you find that that is the main way you advertise, or do you also do paid ads as well? Or do you find that with your social media and like organic growth and networking in the public, is that all you need to do? Like, where are your clients coming from? That's what we always get asked. That's what techs are always looking for. How do I get clients? It'd be interesting to see kind of where your clients are coming from.
So a couple of avenues. So I would say for paid ads, a way that we've been able to supplement that is through partnering with these super reputable, amazing, hardworking companies. Your Voice is Heard Foundation, Boise Fashion Week, partnered with Track Shark. Their reach is far greater than ours could, even with ads. So yes, there's a small contribution. Sometimes there's a fee to be a sponsor, but the work that they put in, there's no way we would have had enough time to be able to market, promote, create videos, work with individuals. So in a way, with events and being a sponsor, we kind of we have them do kind of that hard work and use their advertising fundamentals and their avenues so that we can take a little bit of a backseat and just prepare for the actual event. I would say that that's how we've been able to not directly use paid ads. Another avenue I'll just speak to really quickly. We have a partnership with a local SEO company, SEO Idaho. And I would say from our tool belt, that is one of the most valuable assets that we have. They're an amazing partner to work with. SEO is everything.
Right.
So if I answer your first question, a lot of our clients come from Google searches. And SEO Idaho is the leader in making sure that your business ends up on top of search results, so much so that they have a requirement. They only work with one company out of that industry so that they don't have competing agencies. Yeah. They have been absolutely stellar. And I would attribute a lot of our success and a lot of our clients being able to find us because of SEO Idaho.
Absolutely. Yeah.
SEO is huge, especially local SEO. When you need straight to consumer or you need clients, bums in seats, SEO is huge. So I'm so glad you brought that up. So it sounds like you are doing so much that is just so outside the box, or I shouldn't even say outside the box. It's, as you mentioned, really typical marketing standpoints, but we just don't see it as often anymore, right? Our newer generation, we just think Instagram, TikTok, but you're a great example to show that, yes, social traction's great in showing the behind the scenes, but also getting out in person is a massive key that I think a lot of us are missing. So helpful. So many great insights. So guys, what would be one thing that you would tell a fellow teeth whitening tech right now if they're either struggling or even if they're doing well? Fingers crossed they are doing well. But as we know, getting your feet up off the ground takes time. What's one thing you would tell them, knowing now what you didn't know when you started? What would be a great tip for a fellow teeth whitening business?
I would say, first and foremost, congratulations on taking the jump. And never forget that you are pursuing entrepreneurship. That's already one step ahead of so many individuals in the world. So don't lose that spark. Always keep that in your back pocket. Celebrate your small wins and dive into what made you want to become a teeth whitening tech. Was it because of your family? You want to be close with your family? So then if that's the case, maybe reach out to local moms and the schools and get involved with, the little book clubs, stuff like that. Start with who you know first and kind of see what their interests are, what they're doing, and kind of branch out into those craft areas. And I would also say SEO. You need to make sure that you are able to be found when someone is searching. As much as word of mouth is great, and it is in the service industry, if someone knows you and they say it, word of mouth, they're going to come to you. But teeth whitening, I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about it. It could be an embarrassment of their yellow teeth, so they just don't really mention it. And so the word of mouth is going to be not as intense. And so really focus in on putting a big chunk of your income into your SEO, because I'm telling you, it will pay off. Give yourself 9 months to a year of that time. And I'm serious. It'll take that long, 9 months to a year, and start building that up now and start paying for it. And you'll start seeing results. I guarantee it.
And I would say, a few things. So life is really long if you think about it. So 14 years ago, we met. There was no way we would have ever envisioned being right here with MentorRach on a podcast. No way.
No way.
Life is very long and it's a beautiful journey. So, when you think about the long term, the investment in making this business yours, make it have your thumbprint, however that is, whether it's through a logo redesign or whether that's through the experience you provide to your clients, make it yours. You will be more invested in the business when it has a little part of your soul in it, as opposed to just a business that you're running. So look at the different ways that the things that interest you, you can put into your business, however creatively you'd like to do that, even if it's partnering with other people. And then finally, with teeth whitening, there are a lot of great resources out there. I think one of the things that is missed and is an opportunity that we're working on as well is a lot of people have no idea how beneficial this is, not just for a bright smile, but for your soul, for your spirit, for your confidence, for your
mental
oral
health. Yep.
End up spending more time taking care of your teeth after a whitening session, which is a huge win on top of the killing bacteria and remineralizing and rebuilding enamel and learning about how sensitivity happens. I feel like it's a great opportunity and it's a missed market because self-help is so important to people. Also cover the bullet points around how this helps the individual aside from a bright smile. Make it yours and talk about some of the health and self-health benefits that there are in teeth whitening. I think that'll help everybody's reach beyond just sensitivity and how many shades.
Yeah. And I think I want to kind of branch off on that one too, is it wasn't for finding you and finding your business and following you on your Instagram. My confidence level would have been nothing. Your expertise and your knowledge and your ability to share so openly, this is what teeth whitening needs, the technicians need. And I just really hope that when you guys start watching more of these podcasts on Whitening Wednesdays with MentorRach, you guys, it is so valuable. There are not people out there that are doing research. They are not going and working straight with the labs. So find those people that are really trying to spread the real truth of teeth whitening and spread the knowledge because we're all in this together. And so if one teeth whitening isn't saying it correctly and another one, we need all to be on the same page. And I really think that you are doing a phenomenal job of getting everybody on the same page. So thank you for all that you do and for all the extra time you put in to allow people like us and other small businesses to get out there, to talk and to spread knowledge and happiness and smiles through the teeth whitening industry. So thank you.
MentorRach rules.
Thanks so much, guys. You guys are the best. But yes, our goal definitely is to make sure that, since it is an unregulated industry, that we do help just kind of push out some of the noise that isn't always the best. So we do hope that we are making some traction. And it's so great when we find great businesses like yours that we see that you can do a great job in this space, regardless if you have a dental background or not. So why don't we just continue, not competition, but community over competition, and just keep this industry growing safe and effectively, which I'm so glad you guys are a part of. So tell us, where can we follow you?
So my goodness, we have, if you just go to any social bot, anything that's a social media link, we are at Idaho Smiles, and we have content ranging from our personal lives to making dinners together to going out to events and sharing our life together with you guys. And then we dashed a little bit of teeth whitening information in there as well.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So I'm sure all of our listeners are going to go look that up right now. I highly recommend it. You're going to get so much inspiration. And thank you so much for coming on the show. I can't wait for this episode to be released. And we will chat with you two again soon. And those of you who are listening, thanks so much for listening to another episode of Whitening Wednesday.